So for this week's video journal, I'm going to be talking about what we talked about in class on Friday, which had to do with Somalia and the U.S. military humanitarian intervention. And I'm not interested in the whole topic, but specifically relating to this class, how the media was able to portray what was going on in Somalia and eventually deemed it worthy enough to send the U.S. military in for support and humanitarian aid. Because obviously we've done humanitarian missions in the past, we still do them today with the military. This past summer I was able to go to Guatemala and work with the U.S. Army in a humanitarian mission providing medical supply and services to population. So it's something that it's not like I think we spent a lot of time thinking about like how this is like, ooh, this is the first time we've ever done something like that, but it really isn't. We've been doing it since the early 20th century. But anyway, I'm digressing. Anyway, I was just interested in how you were able to sell that to the American public because even though the images of starvation and widespread famine and like 50% of children who are under the age of 12 are going to die before they reach 12 or whatever, and it's really really sad and really depressing stuff. And it's nice to think that the American people go support something like that, but you also think about the context. It's not like we were just going into some regular safe country that just happened to be experiencing famine. We were going into a war-torn country such as Somalia that really had no government established whatsoever. It was pretty much the closest thing to anarchy, still is today. Warlords would take all their food once they got there, and it's pretty remarkable to think about that we were actually able to make that pitch to the American public and ultimately agree to it. Because we were talking about how they really didn't anticipate resistance. I don't know if I really agree with that because, like I said before, all the stuff I said before about how it was a war-torn country, the U.S. military would have had precautions in place. I mean, we talked about when the first operation started, they had special forces in, kind of do a little bit of recon of the area. And then even the Black Hawk Down incident, that wasn't just filing rank soldiers, regular Joes, it was like the 75th Ranger Regiment, which is like a special operations unit. So again, it's just kind of remarkable to think about because I was doing a little bit of preliminary research on the war in not really war in Somalia, but the U.S. military operation in Somalia, and for the biggest reason why, not necessarily the biggest reason why, but one of the reasons why Black Hawk Down was so surprising to people was not necessarily because we weren't expecting it. Well, I guess it kind of is, but it was because it was after the fact. It was once the U.S. kind of turned their role of the humanitarian aid over to the UN because the immediate danger of famine was kind of over. And then that was after the fact. Then what happened in Mogadishu happened. So yeah, I was kind of all over the place with that. I apologize, but that was really interesting. That Friday class is probably one of my most favorite classes we've had so far this semester. So yeah.